How strong is Kizaru? Now, I have seen his name pronounced two ways, Kizaru and Kizaru. I'll be honest here, mostly I call him Kizaru, but I thought for the intro I would say Kizaru. But let's be honest, what am I talking about? Let's get to the video. The glint man, the man who is pretty much made of light, can create light, can move at the speed of light. People say he's the strongest. Yes, they say he's the strongest. Not just the strongest admiral, the strongest character if it wasn't for plot conveniences. That's how much they see his fruit as an OP Hag's Dull fruit. They don't even know how much Haki he has, but the fact that his fruit is so OP in hacks, they put him at a level in which I like, though, if he was in real life, he would be, no one can touch him in the One Piece world. Now, I definitely feel like when it comes to Kizaru, there's definitely ways to deal with him in which a lot of people are looking over, but though I do respect Kizaru's power. And today I'm gonna look at some moments in the series and see how strong is this man known as Borsalino. Yes, I had to say it in a little bit of an accent. Borsalino, Kizaru, let's get to it. It's me, Mario. Now, if I offended anybody for talking like that, I apologize. But let's get to the video. First, let me talk about his fruit. And I'll be honest here, his fruit there's been a lot of controversy when it comes to his fruit. A lot of people think that Kizaru should be moving at the speed of light at all times. But if you notice, when you see Kizaru, he moves at the speed of light at times. Like sometimes he has to, like when he was going against Apu, he showed a beam, and then he went through the speed of light through the beam, and then pretty much in 0.10 seconds he went and got Apu. So there's moments where he moves at a super speed level, but there's moments where he's just chilling. That's his personality. So his Dull fruit, I think it still needs to be explored, and we need to get a whole grasp of it and how it works. Because think about it, usually the person who has the Dull fruit, they usually explain how the fruit works. So when Kizaru was actually in a serious battle, which I believe will be end of story, will be a crazy battle against another character, which I will talk about in this video, then we're gonna get more about his fruit and how it works. So yeah. Now, when it comes to his Haki game, we know that it was stated that every single Vice Admiral and up have Haki. So we know Kizaru does have Haki, and we did see him showcase this in Marineford War when he put his hand up to block Whitebeard's attack that was coming through there. So we know he has Armor Haki. We can assume that he has Observation Haki. Conqueror's Haki, that's not. We know he doesn't have, we know right now he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki, but if it's showcased, I wouldn't be surprised. But I just don't think he has Conqueror's Haki, his personality. So been a huge theory when it comes to Marines and Conqueror's Haki. I don't really agree with it, but there is a theory there. But I just don't think Kizaru has Conqueror's Haki. But I think his Armament Haki is pretty good, and his Observation Haki. So I think, yeah, his Haki game is definitely on fleek. He's an admiral. Now, I think a mini moment I want to talk about before I get into the big moments when it comes to Kizaru's power is back in the day, we kind of seen that Kizaru, when he was, I believe, a Vice Admiral, it was kind of confirmed that he did have his fruit. So we know Kizaru had his fruit from way back when he was a Vice Admiral, and we know he wrecked Arlong in the Jinbei flashback, the Sun Pirate flashback, pretty easily. And Arlong, let's be honest here, East Blue Luffy wrecked Arlong, so he wasn't really someone that was like, oh my gosh, Kizaru rocking to me, that's so surprising. It wasn't a surprise. Though I do want to say this, as a Vice Admiral, Kizaru looked kind of scary with his ability, and we've seen that other admirals like Aokiji, he had his fruit when he was a Vice Admiral. Akainu, I'm assuming, though it hasn't been confirmed, I'm assuming because the way he destroyed that ship. But yeah, these guys definitely have been rocking the fruits for years on years, so they should be really well with it, and you gotta respect that. Now, the first battle I want to talk about when it comes to Kizaru and examining his power and how strong he really is the way he wrecked the 4 supernovas. And now you're probably thinking, who were the 4 supernovas? Well, it was Erouge, Beja Hawkins was amongst them, Drake, and I believe it was Apu. These 4 were the ones that went against Kizaru. So I think it was cool how you wrecked them each. We saw him Aruja with that leg speed, which showing that Kizaru's leg power is definitely devastating. The way he destroyed Aruja through all those buildings, and that was a pretty big Aruja. So the way he moved them at a level at which I was shook. Then we have moments where he goes and takes out Apu. Apu tried to take him out, and cut him in half, but out of nowhere Kizaru goes boom, 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 and easily destroys him through buildings. Again, another supernova he destroys through buildings. And then we have Beja Hawkins, who earlier he hit Beja Hawkins, but Beja Hawkins' Dull fruit power is a very spooky one, which I have a video planned in the future. But I think the coolest thing about it is when he hit him with the light that blinded his eyes, and he was at the point where he could have killed Beijing Hawkins. Let's be honest here. Beijing Hawkins was the last supernova he wrecked, and he was about to kill Beijing Hawkins, but something happened. So Beijing Hawkins, he's a lucky man, but Beijing Hawkins with his predictions, he probably was confident. Who knows? And then I'm gonna talk about X Drake. And X Drake, he actually has history with X Drake, and I think the coolest part when he took out X Drake is when he went from Apu. I think he went from Apu all the way to X Drake, and you see X Drake's face, and it was like his leg so fast, the speed of which Kizaru destroyed him. Oh my goodness, all 4 supernovas. And the reason why I feel like this was a better feat than Aokiji's feat when he destroyed the monster trio in the I believe it was a Long Range Long Island arc, was because first of all, these 4 supernovas are relatively on the same, if not, they're probably four of them are relatively on the same level as Luffy at that time. There probably is a difference in strength. Like Luffy, I believe Luffy was stronger than all 4 of them, but I definitely feel like they're all in the same equal terms when it comes to Luffy and his power. Well, 2 of them might have been not been, who knows, but it's just, they're part of the supernova at that time, and Kizaru wrecked them. Definitely got to give respect for Kizaru wrecking the supernovas. Mad hype. But yeah, the supernovas, the number of super characters at that high level for them was pretty impressive for Kizaru. But let's be honest here, they weren't really on Kizaru's level. They were easy for Kizaru. The actual battle we have to discuss and see Kizaru's power is the Rayleigh battle. And I talked about the Rayleigh battle in the How Strong is Rayleigh video, which got a lot of love. I got to thank you guys for the respect and support. Though there was disagreements from what I said, I definitely feel like you guys were respectful in those disagreements. But yeah, Kizaru and Rayleigh, a huge battle. We've seen some crazy stuff in that battle. We know that Kizaru made us light sword, and I feel like that's one of the greatest things Kizaru has done, That light sword is like, whoa, Kizaru is so versatile. He used his legs for kicks. He used a light sword to use in a battle. Yeah, and he has his speed, which is OP as hell. Yeah, Kizaru and his Haki game seems pretty much cool. Though in this Rayleigh battle, what really knocked down Kizaru, or not really knocked him down, but put him on a level like, oh, he's actually obtainable, is when Kizaru was trying to go against, he trying to ran and trying to take out the other characters, and Rayleigh stopped him in an instant. Now Rayleigh, how can Rayleigh stop a guy who's made of light? That's what a lot of people are saying. We gotta understand. We understood now that observation Haki, yes, observation Haki is a huge thing you need when going against Kizaru, and Rayleigh is one of the greatest Haki users, and is very trained in all 3 Haki. He can even train Luffy in those 3 Haki. So it showcased that in this battle, we see what you need to go against Kizaru. A great observation Haki is very much needed because of his speed, and they're going back and forth with the swordsmanship. There was a time where Rayleigh was seemingly panting. Some people say he was sweating, and we all know that Rayleigh was in old age. Kizaru was more younger than Rayleigh, so you would expect Kizaru to pull out, though there is the fan base is split on the whole fight. 50 people say that Rayleigh will win, 50% say that Kizaru will win. I personally said, from what I've seen, it looked like if the fight went longer, Kizaru would win, unless Rayleigh was holding back abilities, though I do think Kizaru was definitely also holding back abilities. So it's a very tough situation, but for me personally, I'm going to go on the Kizaru side until I'm proven wrong, which Oda has proven me wrong many times. And let's get to Marineford, a clash that's argued a lot. If you have been watching the Brago streams, you see this always argued, the Marco versus Kizaru, and I think it shouldn't really be that argued. It's kind of easy to comprehend and to understand. It's pretty much Kizaru who was going to attack Whitebeard with his attack, all the light particles that he was shooting at Whitebeard, and out of nowhere Marco comes and kicks him down to the ground. So Marco comes with his Phoenix power, his mythical Zoan, and then kicks Kizaru all the way to the ground. Now this is definitely a situation where people said, yo, Marco gets a W for this, but honestly, was it really a huge W, if even a W? Because think about it, Kizaru was not initially going to attack Marco. He was initially attacking Whitebeard, and Marco came to protect Whitebeard and then hit him with the kick. And it didn't really affect Kizaru because Kizaru actually came out of that with no scratches. So that's how I seen it. And then it kind of reminds me of the whole Aokiji attacking Whitebeard and Jozu came in out of nowhere and hit him. Though I do think it was way less because Aokiji was actually bleeding from that attack, while Kizaru had no damage on him. So definitely got to look at that. And during the Marineford War, we had Kizaru destroying Luffy with multiple kicks. I think he destroyed him twice. The first time he was trying to go against save Ace, and the second time he was also trying to save Ace, I believe. So I remember the one time he destroyed Luffy, he kicked him to Whitebeard and said, "This is what trash you bring to me." And and it just showcased how much of a difference in strength Luffy was to Kizaru, and Kizaru pretty much calling him trash. And Kizaru was trash talking Whitebeard, which is very shocking. Like, this is the guy who's known as the strongest man. Kizaru was so confident in his strength, though there is many reasons probably he should be confident. He is one of the top tier characters. Very cool stuff. Now, a very minor fight, just like the Luffy situation I want to talk about, is the Rakuyo. If you guys don't know who Rakuyo was, he was the 7th Division commander on Whitebeard's crew, and he used his ball and chain. And I'll be honest here, he didn't really seem that strong, but the thing is, he's still a he's a mid-division commander for Whitebeard's crew, a Yonko crew. And mid-tiers on Yonko crews, they're not amazing, but like, they're not top-tier Yonko crew members, but they're in the New World, and they're mid-tier, so you gotta give some respect. And he used some ball and chain to chomp Kizaru, and that really just showcased how much of a difference in strength Kizaru was to these mid-tier Yonko crew members. Like, they're not even close to Kizaru. I don't even know why they were trying to fight. We definitely know they're trying to save Ace, but still, like, it just showcases the difference in power. And Kizaru versus Whitebeard, Edward Newgate. And there's two instances I want to talk about. The first instance was when Kizaru was hitting Whitebeard with the lasers. Now, like I said, all the time when I talk about Whitebeard in Marineford, he was old, he was sick, and he had multiple wounds prior to what Kizaru did. So definitely, I don't put that too heavy on Whitebeard's head for getting trolled by Kizaru with the lasers in his chest. Though later on, we've seen Whitebeard slash Kizaru when Kizaru was trying to stop Luffy from saving Ace. So Whitebeard did hit him with that. So Whitebeard pretty much stopped Kizaru from stopping Luffy. So it just showcased that Whitebeard, even at his wounds and he's sick and old, he still had some level of points to which an admiral, yes, he was stopping an admiral. We have to give him some respect to Whitebeard. And then there's another instance when it comes to Ben Beckman, and I tell people so many times, Kizaru was not scared of Ben Beckman. A lot of people don't understand Kizaru's personality, yo. Oh, Ben Beckman, yo, he's just trolling. Like, honestly, it's funny because if you read the manga, like literally one panel later, Kizaru goes to attack the ships that Luffy was on, and it just showcased, and Ben Beckman's actually surprised, like, yo, Kizaru actually went, like, what the hell, man? So he's not really surprised, but like, oh, he still went, huh? Like, so it showcased that Ben Beckman knows that Kizaru, definitely Ben Beckman has some sort of power that Kizaru knows of, and I feel like they have history. The right hand man to Shanks' crew and Kizaru has history where they probably battled in the past, and Kizaru is knowledgeable in his ability. So the fact that they're like, even look at the way Ben Beckman said it, Kizaru, stop, like, he knows on a first name basis, first nickname basis. So I definitely feel like these guys are also close in power, just like Marco, the right hand man to Whitebeard, was close in power with Kizaru, and this is a very great knowledgeable thing to see how strong Kizaru really is. Now, I'm not going to talk about this for too long, but I will mention this. There is the Z filler, and you probably think, what am I talking about, the Z filler? Yes. Yeah, this is an amazing movie in which we got two battles of Kizaru versus Z. Z was a former admiral. He's kind of like he's in the area of Garp and Goku. He's old in age, and Kizaru, the first fight with Kizaru, it was kind of, you see them both, it kind of reminded me of the Rayleigh fight, though I do think Rayleigh did better. They were going at it equally, and Z's like, yo, I'd never really liked you, Kizaru. Z was like the master to all the youngins back in the day, so it was kind of cool. But in the end, yes, Kizaru did take out Z, though I do think this is just filler, not really too much to look at. Kizaru really didn't showcase anything that made us, oh, he's so strong, or anything that made him look weaker. So it just made us look Kizaru at the same. We looked at Kizaru, honestly, at like the same. But I've said this many times, Oda has said that Sanji's specialty is observation Haki, in which he's the best at. So if Sanji himself is best at observation Haki, I've been saying that Sanji and Kizaru, the way that they use their feet, they're gonna fight in the future when it comes to Straw Hat Pirate versus Admirals. And we've seen that Rayleigh observation Haki was able to help him when it comes to Kizaru's speed. It's definitely likely that these two are gonna fight. And observing his battles with Marco and his moment with Ben Beckman, he at times seems like he is on the right hand level of Yonko crew members, or this is how I see it. The right hand man to Yonko crew members are on the level of admirals, and it's a huge statement. It's really disrespectful to a lot of people. Are gonna say, yo, come on, you're disrespecting the admirals. I see Marco. Marco was very impressive when I saw him battling. The Gorosei comments on Marco when it comes to Blackbeard, and then Ben Beckman, who's on the right hand to Shanks. I'm not surprised these guys are, because I feel like, okay, this is how it goes. Yonko commanders, top tier Yonko commanders, can fight an admiral. Right hand man Yonko crew members can actually fight them equally, and there's a chance they might beat them, though the admiral, a lot of people look to give the admirals the advantage, of course. But there is moments where like guys like Akainu, who's definitely on the Yonko level. Now there's a huge, it's very confusing. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even be surprised. It's very confusing, and I definitely feel like Kizaru hasn't showed his full power. He's the only admiral who hasn't used his animal nickname to use an attack. We've seen Fujitora use a tiger nickname, Akainu with the red dog, Aokiji with the I forgot the key. I think it was the, I'm not too sure what Aokiji was, I forgot. But yeah, he needs to use a monkey attack. I think he's going to use it against Sanji at the end of story. Near there, a monkey crazy attack doesn't showcase his full capabilities, which will be very definitely hype and dope. But I see, like I said, at times Kizaru seemingly looks like one of the strongest characters in the story, and at times he seemingly looks like he's equal pretty much to the right hand. So this is how I see it. Kizaru is admiral level. This is a fact, dude. And admiral level is, like I said, it's very generic too. But when it comes to the admirals, I think Kizaru is, this is where I talk about levels. It's kind of tough to say. So it's just tough for me even to say it. I'm having such a hard time at the end of the video to say what level he's on. I think the right hand man's could fight Kizaru equally. That's just my opinion on the whole subject. But I definitely feel like at times Kizaru can go fight a Yonko. So it's very weird, but I feel like this is how it goes. High difficulty, the Yonkos are beating Kizaru. Right hand man's high difficulty, they're losing unless there might be a chance they might win. I'm not too sure. They need to show more when it comes to right hands. But yeah, like I said, House Pronouns Kizaru, I think he's weaker than Akainu. I think he's weaker than Aokiji. I think when it comes to Fujitora, these guys seemingly, I think Kizaru is pretty much equal to Fujitora, and that's just my thoughts on the subject. Aokiji did lose a leg, so which that might hinder his battle strength. But yeah, I definitely feel like Aokiji and Akainu are on a different level than Kizaru. When it comes to different level, when I say different level, I mean like 0.1. But I can, they're equal. They're pretty much equal. Aokiji and Kizaru are pretty much equal. I think Akainu is stronger. But yeah, there's still difference in power. They're on the same level, but there's difference in power. Wow, that took me so long to say that. Yeah, this might be the last time I talk about Kizaru's power until we see more, because as you've seen, I'm very confused. Like and share if you enjoy, like and share only if you enjoy, and subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.